And good evening from Bell Culpeper Stadium at Winona High School, where we are getting set for the AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by Alabama Professional Services. Tonight's matchup out of Class 5A Region 5 as Pleasant Grove gets set to take on the Winona Dragons. I'm Mickey Shandricks, joined by Gerhard Mathangani for tonight's matchup. Gerhard, region games are always big early in the season. It's been kind of a rough start for Winona. They had a couple of forfeits due to COVID-19 issues. Meanwhile, Pleasant Grove, despite the forfeit to Oxford, they've looked good on the field in their two games.
They certainly have, and going into this monster matchup in Class 5A Region 5, you're taking on a really desperate Winona team to kind of get back into a midseason groove, even though, we're a few weeks in, they've only played one physical game on the field. But as you said, Pleasant Grove, with their weapons, once again, having a really solid year on the field.
Let's take a look at a couple of weapons for both of the teams tonight. First off, for Winona, they've got a dynamic playmaker at quarterback.
Because Rico Wells has only played one game, we haven't seen him as much so far this year, but the 6'1", 200-pound senior will look to make a statement right here against a really solid defense from the Spartans. Look for Wells to go to a lot of his targets, especially early on.
Meanwhile, for Pleasant Grove, they've got a bulldozer in the backfield and running back DeMarcus Lacey.
He has been sensational this season on 12 attempts as a running back, 176 yards. That is an average of 14 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, a long of 70. He can hit you with the big play at any time. He is one of many weapons for Pleasant Grove.
So we'll take a break, come back, and continue to set the table for tonight's matchup between Pleasant Grove and Winona.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs, not yours. At AmFirst, our app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
I'm Roger, your in-house expert with Alabama Professional, and your questions keep pouring in to Ask Roger. Judy in Arndale asked, what services can APS provide? Alabama Professional offers basement waterproofing, foundation repair, humidity and mold control, and encapsulation of nasty crawl spaces. Since 1977, homeowners have entrusted APS to solve basement, foundation, and crawl space problems. Call for a free, no-obligation estimate today and keep those emails and questions coming.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late-inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
And there you see the captains for both teams at the 50-yard line getting set for the coin toss, Winona and Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove, one of the top teams out of Class 5A for the last few years under head coach Darryl LeBeau. They've actually reached the state championship game in 2 consecutive seasons, only to lose heartbreakers in both state championship games. Meanwhile, Winona, as we mentioned, off to a rough start at 0-3. They lost their first region game last week against Ramsey 26-6. Meanwhile, Pleasant Grove knocking off Cordova last week 46-18. And obviously, Gerhard, when you look at the rosters for both of these teams, the depth advantage clearly will be on the side of the Spartans of Pleasant Grove.
One of the good things about being a team that competes for a state championship every year is you get a lot of interest in your program to come out and play football. So these numbers are up for head coach Darryl LeBeau and these Pleasant Grove Spartans. They have about 80 on the roster, and roster that was sent over our way. Meanwhile, for Winona, looks like they have about around 30 or so on the squad, and their head coach, Coach Nick Howard, admitted to the fact that they're a bit of a small team, and they're clearly in a rebuilding mode, but this is a Winona team that was not that long ago in a state championship game back in 2016. So this is two programs, I think, kind of that have the same aspirations, but Pleasant Grove right now a little closer to the mountaintop.
These two teams obviously very familiar with each other. Only 10 miles separate the two schools, and they have played 16 times over the years, and they've split those games right down the middle, Gerhard. Each school has won 8. Pleasant Grove, we talked about how much success they've had the last few years. They've won 3 games in a row in the series. But overall, when you look at the series history, it's 8-8. Can't get much more even than that.
Exactly, and only a few points actually even separate the series altogether. That goes back to the tradition that both of these teams carry. As of right now, Pleasant Grove still has the upper hand, including a big blowout in last year's matchup, and Winona, I'm pretty sure, wants to avenge that big game. And of course, Winona also knows that Pleasant Grove is kind of one of those top teams, the class, the standard of 5A football, so they'll have some examples right there on their home field about what it looks like to play championship level football, because clearly the Spartans are right there.
Winona hoping to get off to a good start in this one against Pleasant Grove. The longer they can keep the game competitive. On paper, obviously, they come in as the big underdog against second-ranked number 2, Pleasant Grove, ranked number 2 in the state in Class 5A. There you see backing up, awaiting the kick, the young man we talked about in our open, DeMarcus Lacey.
He's such a huge weapon for the Spartans. And the senior was big last year. They'll call on him once again this year to be a big part of what they want to do offensively, and also, as you see here, on the special teams unit as well as one of the return men. As you said earlier, as a running back, already close to 200 yards on the season and 3 touchdowns already. And he is a force for this football team, and we'll highlight some others as the game goes along. He's not the only one, but he is the main one so far. And as the senior, he's fulfilled his duties so far, and we'll see if he can do so again in yet another big region game. Of course, we're at the point of the season where just about everybody's played one region game at least. You want to be sitting 1-0, and as of right now, that's exactly where Pleasant Grove is, along with Parker, Ramsey, and John Carroll, who all won last week. Cordova, Fairfield, Carver, Birmingham, and these Winona Dragons all lost last week, so lots to play for here as region play is in full effect.
Tariante Harrison has it teed up, set to kick it off when the officials give us the all clear sign here. On another nice evening for football. Had a good night last week at Mountain Brook, and here the weather's cooperating again here for our Thursday night AHSAA game of the week. Once again presented by Alabama Professional Services, and we are underway from Bell Culpeper Stadium. It'll bounce inside the 25, and great coverage downfield that time by Winona's Kevin Peoples Jr. as he hustled down to corral Cam Harris before Harris could get much of a return together. So here comes the Pleasant Grove Spartan offense taking the field for the first time. And Gerhard, Coach LeBeau's offense has been nothing but spectacular in their first 2 games. They've scored 107 points combined. Their forfeit loss to Oxford, they won the game on the field 61-24.
And that's one of the things that you can't really take away from this ball club. Of course, the win comes off the official record. However, what they did on the field is something that they'll continue to draw upon as they continue to dive deeper into region play.
And here's our first look at DeMarcus Lacey. Look at this young man take off on the first play from scrimmage. And you see, folks, why we spotlighted Lacey in our open. He takes it the distance for the game's first score on the game's first play tonight.
Already over 200 yards on the season, 176 before that run right there. He's also going to up his average in the 4th touchdown of the season for DeMarcus Lacey. This play was really well blocked as well. So big shout out to the offensive line, and be able to take a look and see how they got this one done. But You saw the speed of Lacey. Once he hit that sideline, he was gone. And Winona's a really fast football team, but they could not catch up to big number 1. And the guy that we spotlighted at the beginning, DeMarcus Lacey, showing us once again why he's one of the better players in Class 5A football.
And so Pleasant Grove to attempt the extra point. And it is up. And no good. Wide right. As Coach Hawkins can't connect. And here is another look at DeMarcus Lacey. Little fireworks right out of the chute here from Bell Culpeper Stadium. It is the Spartans of Pleasant Grove racing out to a 6-0 lead.
I'm Roger, your in-house expert with Alabama Professional, and your questions keep pouring in to Ask Roger. Stan in Mountain Brook asked, our basement is damp, musty, and humid. Can APS help? Stan, almost half of the air you breathe comes from your basement. A wet or damp basement worsens allergies and damages valuables. We'll transform your basement into a dry, usable space and improve the air quality of your home. Call for a free, no-obligation estimate today and keep those emails and questions coming.
Something that you say? Well, it seems like we just kicked off the game, and we did. We already have our first touchdown of the night thanks to DeMarcus Lacey as he scores on a long run from scrimmage, giving Pleasant Grove a 6-0 lead. And we talked about the importance of Winona trying to hang in there early in this one because you know, one of the things Coach Howard is struggling with is obviously they had the COVID issue, the 2 forfeits to begin the season, the loss to Ramsey last week, and you don't want your team to lose too much confidence too early in the year.
Especially against a team like Pleasant Grove, and they already have a thin roster. You mentioned it earlier. They're not a very deep football team at all. He's continuing to try to get the numbers up, and in Class 5A football, you need to have a lot.
And this is fielded by Isaiah Spears, but outstanding coverage that time for Pleasant Grove as they get down the field, and credit the tackle on special teams to number 28, Jabari Jones, the junior. Nice job on special teams. So here's our first look at the Winona offense. And again, only one game played, the loss to Ramsey last week. They scored 6 points in that game. But as we mentioned, as Gerhard talked about in our open, they've got a very dangerous quarterback in Rico Wells. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a senior. And on the first play from scrimmage, they try the middle of the line of scrimmage and nothing doing. There you see number 42, Charles Spikes, the senior defensive lineman, filling the gap and making the tackle.
Great play there on the run by Spikes. And for Winona, the key will be maintaining possession, continuing to get first downs on third down, mixing up your run and your pass on first down situations, and try to keep this Pleasant Grove offense off the field as much as possible.
Pleasant Grove scored 26 points in the first quarter against Cordova last week. Winona will try to avoid that kind of start here tonight. They get a good play here as Corin Williams took a shot at the end of the play but held on. And a nice job there by Wells to buy some time and spot his senior receiver over the middle.
And this is where Wells is dangerous because he's able to keep the play alive right here and holds it to that very last second and gets it to Corin Williams. And I'll tell you what, at 5'7", 155 pounds, he took a shot there and popped right back up. You can tell the toughness by Big Williams.
That is our first first down of the game. Handoff up the middle, nice little hole there. Isaiah Spears, 6'5", 175-pound running back, finding a little daylight right up the middle. Nice gain on first down.
Once again, mixing up the run and the pass a little bit, passing on that last down, running on that first down. This is exactly what Winona needs to continue to maintain this offense. They've only scored 6 points on the year so far and looking to add to that total right now.
Second down and 4. Spears gets the call again. This time he's hit behind the line of scrimmage as Deshaun Love, the junior defensive lineman, got penetration, disrupted the play. Then he had some help from linebacker Cavante Harrell.
Excellent pursuit there by Pleasant Grove on that play and making sure Winona does not have any success trying to run this thing laterally. I think in order for Winona to bring the punch they have is get a hat on a hat and run it north and south.
Play lost a yard, makes it 3rd and 5 now. Wells back to throw, pressured, gets the pass away, and tough break. Corin Williams had a chance there to make the catch and run for good yardage, and I'm not sure if he was aware the ball was coming his way, but Winona had a good opportunity but cannot convert on 3rd down.
And that's a big missed opportunity there by the Dragons. Obviously not taking anything away from the drive overall. They were able to pick up a 1st down, but looks like a punting situation here. We'll see if they actually do punt. I mean, this is a spot where if Winona wanted to try a little trickery and keep the football, understanding they had some pretty good momentum on that drive, wouldn't be surprised to see a fake punt. Obviously, you don't want to give Pleasant Grove too good a field position right here, though.
Players coming in and out here, and actually going to get a timeout called by Pleasant Grove. Winona had some trouble getting the right personnel out. I kind of sense what you did. It looked like there for just a couple of seconds that Coach Howard was thinking about going for it, then rushed the punting unit on, and so timeout here by the Spartans.
I think it's a smart timeout as well, because for the Spartans, they might be thinking, hey, they might put in a play for a fake punt, or if not, be ready for a punt return to get themselves back into good field position. So I think it's a smart timeout for Coach Darryl LeBeau. There you see him right there. He was a longtime assistant over in the East Alabama area at Munford High School as a defensive coordinator, and then has taken over the job as a head coach at Pleasant Grove and has just done a phenomenal job there with the Spartans. And as you mentioned earlier, Mickey took this team to the state championship 2 different times, close ball games in each of their losses. Last year to St. Paul's, the year before that an epic instant classic game against Danny Horn and the Central Clay County Volunteers. The combined score of those 2 games is 12 points. So they're essentially 13 points away from back-to-back state championships. And so, you know, Coach LeBeau and these Spartans want to put a ring on that finger. So the determination, the motivation is still clearly there for Pleasant Grove.
Low snap, and going to have a miscue here on the punt team, and this is the type of thing Winona really can ill afford to have happen early in the game, as Isaiah Spears was trying to field a low snap, couldn't get it cleanly. By the time he did get his hands on it, the defender was right on top of it.
It was an interesting formation on this punt, too. There was not an up man. Different football programs call it different things, but just basically a second layer of defense on your punting unit. There wasn't that for Winona, so the special teams unit and the punt blocking unit for Pleasant Grove able to surge and penetrate that line and get the ball in great field position.
So here is the handoff. Right up the middle, spinning forward, Kyron Burrows, a sophomore running back. Picks up good yardage on 1st down. You know, we've talked about Lacey a good bit, but you look at this Spartan offense, Gerhard, Alex Young is a very dangerous player at quarterback as well. We mentioned the outburst in the 1st quarter last week in their win against Cordova. He had 3 touchdown passes in that 1st quarter last week, and here he completes his first pass of the game. It's to Cam Harris, one of his favorite targets. Harris had 2 catches for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns in that win last week.
One of the most efficient quarterbacks probably in all of high school football. Came into this game 11 of 14, now 12 of 15. A little touch over 77% accuracy.
And he keeps it here, and he can do this as well. True dual threat quarterback. And right on cue, this young man makes his mark here early in this game as he puts the 2nd touchdown on the scoreboard here in the 1st quarter for Pleasant Grove.
Well, he's had 4 passing touchdowns, as you mentioned earlier, but that's his first rushing touchdown of the year. We talked about Lacey's average on the season as far as running goes. He's sitting at 14.5 yards before that touchdown run. Like you said, a true dual threat guy. And if everybody's covered down the field, you got to have a spy on him. And next thing you know, just like that, up 2 scores, and now looking for the 2-point conversion.
Already with one missed extra point. Pleasant Grove will go for 2. Young's pass is well behind his intended receiver, Kyron Burrows. So the 2-point try is unsuccessful, but it's still a Pleasant Grove 12-0 lead here early in the first quarter of this Class 5A Region 5 matchup tonight from Winona High School.
Mr. President, Bessemer Superhighway is backed up. What are we going to do?
Are you serious? Get me the King Boys.
King Boys Towing is the fastest growing tow and recovery company in Birmingham and surrounding areas for one reason. Our customers are our top priority. Whether your car's been in an accident, it's stuck in the driveway and won't start, or you just need a tow to your preferred repair shop, give us a call. Our fleet of flatbed tow trucks will provide courteous and fast service. King Boys Towing, 205-428-3235.
And a nice view overlooking Bell Culpeper Stadium as the sun beginning to set. Thursday Night Lights, our AHSAA game of the week presented by Alabama Professional Services. Mickey Shadricks and Gerhard Mathangani and our entire WOTM crew. Happy you've joined us tonight as we get the week of high school football started. 5A Region 5 encounter tonight, and it has been all Pleasant Grove early in this game. Here's the kick. Andre Watts, a low line drive kick that'll be fielded by an up man at the 25-yard line. And Curtis Floyd could not break free. Once again, outstanding coverage. This time, it was Pleasant Grove's Aiden Hall coming down to make the stop.
Nice play there by Hall, and once again, just a slight miscue for the Dragons on special teams. They had some promising things on their last offensive drive, and we'll see if they go back to some of that. Corn Williams had a pass on 3rd down that, had he got that drive, might have stayed alive. We saw some good things out of quarterback Rico Wells, so an interesting drive here for Winona, down 2 scores.
And the first down play is a handoff up the middle. Nice job by Ramik Golston. Play started off to the right. It was defended well. Good cutback and picked up some positive yardage.
Very good vision there, being able to cut back and run through the blocker. You see Wells is a big quarterback, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Isaiah Spears is another guy, 175 pounds, the guy that we just saw. Golston on that carry, 185.
Same play, Golston. It's a good surge there from one of his offensive linemen, Terrence Marion, sophomore, 6'3", 200-pound lineman, doing a good job staying with his block. And you can already see, it's pretty obvious, Coach Howard is wanting to establish the running game in this game because he's got to maintain a way to possess the ball here and not give the ball back to Pleasant Grove so often.
Exactly. I mean, you have to find a way to keep Pleasant Grove's offense off the field. You can't put yourself in 2nd and long and 3rd and long situations. It's credit to the Pleasant Grove defense on this drive so far. They've done a good job bottling up this run. So we'll see if they have a counter shoot off of that, the Dragons. But you're right, even down 2 scores, there is no frantic effort to just toss the ball in the air.
Golston picking up more yardage on that play. And the key here will be positive yardage on 1st down for Winona. Give themselves a chance to move the chains and keep possession. Here comes the blitz. Golston unable to get around the corner. Once again, it's penetration in the backfield. This time, Inez Cooper, 6'6", 370-pound defensive lineman. And Gerhard, he moved like a running back on this play. Check this out.
A lot of times what you're hoping is that he could just help stuff that run. That way the defensive end or linebacker come up and get it. However, he just went right through his block, and he moves very well for a big man and able to bring up a 2nd and long situation here for the Dragons.
Wells under pressure and just tosses it off to the side. A lateral that's going to be scooped up. And the scoop and score, that is Deshaun Love. And once again, it was tremendous pressure, and quarterback Rico Wells really had no chance at all to even set his feet and look downfield.
Yeah, just nowhere to go with the football there, and that's incredible pressure by the Spartans. And because the arm didn't go forward, I think this will be a clear fumble on this play, and Scoop and score afterwards. Take another look here, just a great job in pursuit by the entire defense. There you see Brylan Jordan in the middle of your screen making the play that dislodges the football, and Pleasant Grove ends up scoring once again. So 2 touchdowns, 2 quick strike touchdowns on offense, and then big score on defense as well.
But the only flaw in Pleasant Grove's game has been this. They missed an extra point, they missed a try for 2, and they miss another one here as Young's pass incomplete. He was trying to connect in the back of the end zone with Braden Coleman. So try for 2 unsuccessful, but still a Pleasant Grove with a 3-touchdown lead here in this first quarter. 5:41 to play here in the first. It is all Pleasant Grove so far tonight against Winona.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
I'm Roger, your in-house expert with Alabama Professional, and your questions keep pouring in to Ask Roger. Stan in Mountain Brook asked, our basement is damp, musty, and humid. Can APS help? Stan, almost half of the air you breathe comes from your basement. A wet or damp basement worsens allergies and damages valuables. We'll transform your basement into a dry, usable space and improve the air quality of your home. Call for a free, no-obligation estimate today and keep those emails and questions coming.
And we'd like to thank the fine folks at King Boys Towing. They pride themselves on being the towing service for the people. King's Boys Towing provides school-age kids with shoes at the beginning of each school year. This year they gave away over 300 brand new pairs of shoes. Thanks so much to the fine folks at King Boys Towing. They do great work each and every week, providing lifts and getting the lifts and generators out to the stadium each and every Thursday night. Whistle on the kickoff. This one is coming back.
One of the Spartans left before the ball left the foot of the kicker, and we'll do this all over again. This is another good chance for Wenonah to field the ball cleanly, get some positive yardage, and put themselves in a great place for their offense to go to work. There's a good shot at Coach LeBeau, watching his offense and his defense, and now trying to clean up a little bit here on special teams.
Career record in his 4th season. He's 34-9. We mentioned the back-to-back state championship game appearances, and you kind of wonder, Gerhard, is this maybe the year they finally break through?
It's only been 2 games on the field. I know the record's 1-1 so far. Another quarter, a little bit over half a quarter here. Very early sample size, but you have to put them top 3, 4, 5 as far as true contenders for a state championship. Obviously, the Alabama sports writers like them right now, number 2 in the state. And on the field, it looks like it's not just a reputation thing. On the field, they're looking to be that, once again, if they can stay healthy, it's a dangerous football team.
They got size up front. They're strong in the trenches on both sides of the line of scrimmage. As you can see tonight, offensively, they are not one-dimensional by any stretch of the imagination. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, multiple receivers that Alex Young can get it to. This team is going to be a handful to deal with, as Winona is finding out tonight, and here they keep it on the ground on first down. Once again, just trying to keep possession of the ball, string together some first downs here as they find themselves already down by 3 scores here in the first quarter.
trying to find something offensively that they can hang their hat on, and we've seen it in these small doses. They just haven't been able to put it together consistently.
And just no chance to get going at all. Just 4 white jerseys. Is that line of scrimmage, when the ball was snapped, it literally just moved back in the backfield of Winona. Just tremendous surge by the defensive front here.
And it's different when you see a whole bunch of white jerseys in the frame. It's not 1 or 2 guys sitting on a blitz. It's the D-line doing their job. It is the linebackers doing their job, and then the secondary doing theirs as well. And this has been a phenomenal effort so far. They've been burned a couple of times, but for the most part, they have been living in that dragon backfield.
Wells on the keep, and again, just too many white jerseys on the corner. Unable to turn that corner. Another stop there by linebacker B.J. Jordan. And that'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Dragons.
I know it's really early, but it looks a little bit like what we saw with Georgia on Saturday in their big game against Clemson. It was just really team defense, a lot of speed. They can go left to right, and as well as just being able to feast and live in that backfield. It's not one guy. There's a good shot there of the Winona coaching staff trying to keep their spirits up. It's something that you mentioned earlier. Confidence is a key thing, especially in these big region games. And this being the number 2 team in the state, you don't want to lose your confidence too early.
Good snap this time, and the punt is out of there. Bounces at the 30, and here is Harris, as he will be pulled down from behind at the 34-yard line by Winona's Joshua Grant, the sophomore. So Pleasant Grove will get the ball back. 3:20 here to play in the first quarter.
And we'll have a flag here, and it looks like it'll be a block in the back on that very first blocker that made the play here.
There's the block.
Block
by number 6 there, Ryan Madison. So this will put the Spartans in a bit of a hole. Their poorest field position of the first quarter so far. Good look there at Alex Young, the senior quarterback for Pleasant Grove. First down, throw over the middle, it is complete. Beautiful throw and catch as Kerry Bester, the senior, caught that one in stride over the middle, and just like that, the Spartans change that poor field position situation.
And you could do it because you have a guy like DeMarcus Lacey in the backfield. What you do is you go to play action. Defense has to respect the guy who's touched the ball one time and scored a touchdown. We're able to connect there on that big pass play.
Young goes for the home run. It's incomplete. It was intended for Braylon Coleman. Good coverage in the secondary that time, as Winona had a couple of guys back there defending, including Jacoby Houston.
See the arm talent there of Mr. Young. You saw it earlier on that slant route he threw just a minute ago, and was able to once again get the ball in the air. We haven't seen Lacey touch the football since he scored the touchdown. Let's see if they go back to big number 1 here.
Yeah, his yards per carry average has gotten a big boost tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Another flag. Substitution penalty here against Pleasant Grove.
That's an illegal substitution on Pleasant Grove's part.
Mentioned the good size for Young, 6'3", 194-pound senior. Here is Lacey, short side of the field. Turns the corner for some positive yardage, picks up about 6 on that carry.
Let's give it up for that one, Winona.
Well blocked here. Good play, as you said, to the short side of the field. Getting up and in, and he's really, really dangerous in the open field as well. There you see him running in a tight spot.
Some confusion.
Yeah, once again.
At the line of scrimmage for Pleasant Grove. Now the Spartans snap it. Young with all day, now just takes off. Got a good block out on the perimeter by Cam Harris. And Young steps out of bounds just across the 45-yard line.
It's a wise play there by Young. There's really nowhere to go with the football. Don't try to do too much. Looks like his targets there on that side of the field weren't available, and wisely just tucks it and gets out of bounds. It will be enough for that first down there. Relatively close, but he's able to pick up the first.
Another first down. Here's the handoff to Lacey right up the middle. Nice footwork by Lacey. And Lacey cuts back at the 15, cuts back again, and finally pursuit will catch up to him at the 8-yard line. But another big run by DeMarcus Lacey.
Athleticism, speed, you saw it all right here on this run. Watch, well blocked on that first level, and then turns on the Jets, and then watch right there, able to stay in bounds. I'll tell you what, he has been a phenomenal athlete, probably the best player on the field so far in this one, and he's looked every bit the part that we talked about at the beginning of the game.
And the pass is picked off. This is Winona's Kentrell Simmons, the senior linebacker. Boy, Young, a rare mistake. He threw that one right to Simmons. And boy, that is a big break as Kentrell Simmerton goes up and snatches that one out of the air.
Looks like he was looking for Harris on that play, and I don't even know if he probably didn't see him. Sitting right there, just in that zone, and made a great play on the football. And that's exactly what the Dragons needed, a big play to kind of shift the momentum. You see a big smile and a big hug from his coach there. Nice play by the big fella, and putting himself, once again, him and his team in a situation where they can get something positive going here down 18-0.
Boy, to say Winona needed that one, understatement of the first quarter.
100%, especially with the way that Pleasant Grove was able to almost not only just nickel and dime, but also get big plays on them. Big stop of momentum there.
Handoff up the middle. Once again, Winona pretty much ran the ball exclusively on first down, just a couple of yards at time for Isaiah Spears. That does take us under 1 minute to play in the first quarter. And you see big Deshaun Love had the scoop and score a moment ago. Love, one of those big Pleasant Grove linemen. That is another part of what has made them so successful the last few years, is they're a team that always seems to have huge linemen up front.
And exactly, and they're not just space eaters. They're guys that can actually move around, and we've seen that on display here tonight and over the course of the last couple of years. Really disciplined guys, and they're really good on their feet.
Second down and 7. Here comes a blitz off the corner. We had some movement before the snap, and we're going to have a procedure penalty against the Winona offense. So instead of 2nd and 7, it'll be 2nd and 12, as Coach LeBeau has been very aggressive with the defensive play calling here in this first quarter.
Yeah, he's shown a bunch of different looks. There have been some blitzes. Also got pressure with 2 or 3, and looks like we'll play our last play of this quarter and see if they can keep that momentum going into the second.
So nice start here at Bell Culpeper Stadium for Pleasant Grove. 5A Region 5 matchup tonight on our AHSAA Game of the Week. And after one quarter, it is Pleasant Grove leading Winona 18-0.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs, not yours. At AmFirst, our app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
And the sky overlooking Bell Culpeper Stadium on a nice evening for our Thursday night AHSAA game of the week that has been completely dominated through one quarter by the Pleasant Grove Spartans. And there we see the penetration in the backfield by Jaden Hunter, as the Pleasant Grove defensive linemen and linebackers have made a living getting penetration against the Winona offensive backfield.
Seemingly every single time they try to establish a run, there's a different look from Winona, a different player, a different group of players in that backfield, and really nowhere to go with the football in the run game consistently for this Dragon football team. But credit Coach Brown and this unit not shying away from it, not going away from it so far in this one.
Wells hands it off to Spears, and Spears met by B.J. Jordan. Well, he is a good-looking linebacker, too, listed at 6 foot, 215 pounds.
You mentioned how solid he looks, and he's a physical football player as well. Watch him meet him here at the line of scrimmage. Winona does not seal him off on the block, and it's hard to go one-on-one against. A good play in the open field.
So another punting situation here for the Dragons. They'll kick it from inside their 15-yard line. Another low snap, and the punter is just going to take off and run for what he can get. He's going to turn it into a first down. Flag on the play, though, could ruin this opportunity here for Winona.
I think the flag will be, for either holding or blocking the back, and it's probably what sprung him free, though, but just a good heads-up play there by Spears to try to get something, but it looked like there was an infraction there on the play, and it is a hold. It's right on the outside, and you'll be able to see it here on this replay. Right there, and number 28 had an opportunity at it. And obviously the hold right there in front of the official. Both the line judge and the back judge and the referee both saw it. So that penalty will back up Winona even more. So you get a little bit of hope and momentum going your way after the interception, and you don't turn that into anything. You get a little hope and momentum after what looks like a botched kick turning into a big play for the Dragons. That goes for naught as well, and so another shot in the foot here for the Winona Dragons.
That's a good eye by the official. Normally you keep those hands in like that. Those holes are tough to see. Line drive punt fielded here by Burrows, and Burrows with the return inside the 15-yard line. So what a turn of events. Winona would have had it 1st and 10 around the middle of the field. Instead, Pleasant Grove's going to be in business, knocking on the door, looking to score again.
This wall was set up really, really well by the Spartans. Take a look there. the blocking along the side, and that is a great job of blocking there by the special teams for Pleasant Grove. And the biggest thing is to make sure that you don't get a clip or a hold. And I know the reason why he probably doesn't have as much joy on his face right now, probably because he didn't get into the end zone. He probably wanted that 6. But a good play nonetheless by Burrows.
Here's Lacey, follows the block of his lineman, and he's into the end zone. Got a great block there by Inez Cooper, the 6'6", 370-pound lineman. And Lacey is into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night.
Just on a few catches as well, and everybody seems to be checking to make sure that that play will stand. We'll see if it does, and it looks like it will. But you mentioned the blocking. It goes right between his guard and his tackle, and he likes a little contact there at the end as well. And just like that, we got a 24-0 ball game. And once again, they'll try for 2 here. They've put it in the air the last few times. Maybe running it. We'll see. We'll see what the Spartans call here.
Young will throw. Pass is incomplete. Almost picked off there. Good hands, though, to knock it down is really all that matters, as Jaquan Bailey got his hands on it. So that'll take us to a timeout early second quarter. Pleasant Grove, DeMarcus Lacey. The whole offensive unit looking good here. Got a 24-0 lead.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs, not yours. At AmFirst, our app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
Oh, there you see the score, early second quarter. You know, we had kind of a lopsided game last week in Mountain Brook, and same thing developing here tonight at Bell Culpeper Stadium at Winona as Pleasant Grove has come over to their neighborhood and region rival, and they've had their way here in the first half.
And similarities between these two teams, both the Spartans.
Yep, man, can't quite handle the kick there as Jacoby Houston just falls on it to save possession. So the Dragons will come back out again on offense. Only a couple of first downs to show for themselves here in this first half.
We'll see if Winona is able to do anything offensively here on this drive. They have so far not abandoned the run in this game. Now down 24-0. We'll see if they put in the air a little bit more, especially on these first downs. Coach Brown obviously saying earlier this is a rebuilding year for Winona. It's a proud football program.
Another first down run. This time Jaquan Bailey hit behind the line of scrimmage by Aiden Hall.
This Spartan attack continues to just be relentless throughout this football game, and once again getting it done there as well.
Second down and 11. Same play, same result as Bailey. Couldn't get anything. This time another good play by B.J. Jordan, so it'll be third down and long.
Good pursuit this entire game so far, and just playing the defense, playing the run defense just very well, really disciplined. And as we mentioned with Coach LeBeau, showing a lot of different looks to this Winona football team. And offensively, just not enough time to get anything done as far as long play development.
Once again, pressure. Wells has no choice but to just take off and turns it into a big gain. And The way things have been going, you're looking for a flag if you're Winona, but I don't think there's any yellow hankies on the field, so the play will stand.
Let's make some noise for your Winona High School.
Take a look at the way this one develops here. Nobody downfield. We saw this a little bit earlier from Alex Young of Pleasant Grove, using his athleticism to sneak past that first level of defense and then get to the second, and he's able to pick up a much needed first down, and they're really moving the ball very well.
So deepest penetration of the night for the Winona offense, and oh my goodness, as Jaquan Bailey was absolutely blown up that time by the defender, Evan Williams.
It's one of those hits that I think everybody in the stadium felt. Just coming right there off the edge, nobody there to block him or chip him, and comes up with a huge tackle. So after that monster run there, a big defensive play there by Williams, and good job there, everybody coming back up.
Wells, this is the best offense they've had tonight, Gerhard, is just Wells taking off against that relentless pressure by the Spartan defense.
That's exactly right, and obviously that play wasn't drawn up that way. The play was drawn up to be a pass, and just nobody down the field. He was able to improvise and make the best out of that situation. That is the biggest play they've had so far, was basically a breakdown and improvisation by their quarterback. And so now, once again, stuck behind the chains on a third down. What do you go to here? And you know you have those quarterbacks' legs if you need a backup plan.
So third down and 12. And another flag. Another penalty against Winona.
That's exactly what you can't have when you're already staring down. Third and 12, and now it's third and 17. That's got to be frustrating for the Dragons. Looking for answers across that Winona sideline.
So third down and 17. Back at the 40. Winona will go back and huddle up. See if the Spartans send the house, and they do. They rush 6, passes away, incomplete. Did the defender get there early? The Winona fans thought so, but no flag thrown as Aiden Hall was coming up like a missile. Collided with the receiver right as the ball got there.
And they sent the blitz from the short side of the field, and he goes back to the long side. There you see on the blitz Cam Wormley and company, and it looks like the Winona player, like you said, the Winona fans really wanted that defensive pass interference.
Tough break there. 5:31 to play second quarter. Pleasant Grove pitching a shutout so far here at Bell Culpeper Stadium.
It's a new day here at Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. Hi, I'm Kevin Riggin, General Manager, and I would like to personally invite you in to see the Team 1 difference. We offer one of the best inventories in North Alabama, and we will always promise the best deal. Visit our service department where we have highly trained technicians and the latest equipment. Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Welcome to the award-winning Chocolaca Park in Oxford, Alabama. We believe Chocolaca Park is the place to be, and our fans agree, describing the park as breathtaking, professional, and fun for all. With plenty of parking, restrooms, concessions, and a top-notch staff, we are confident your experience will be second to none. Join us today at Chocolaca Park.
And I'd like to remind you to tune in every Wednesday night at 6:30 for the AHSAA Weekly, hosted by John Holder and presented by our friends at AM First Federal Credit Union. And so Winona punting again. This time it'll be downed inside the 10-yard line. Pleasant Grove will come back out on offense here with under 6 minutes to play before halftime and leading 24-0.
Good chance to see what Winona does here. Backed up once again. Last time they were backed up because of a penalty, and now backed up after a good punt by Winona. So we'll see what the Spartans have here. They'll go empty formation on this first play.
Young to throw it from his own end zone. Passes away, and look at the hands of Cam Harris. Goes up, and the ball just sticks. Great catch.
It almost looked like a forward in basketball trying to just picking up a rebound and then just not letting it go here. We'll get a chance to see it here on the replay. Just making sure he secures the football, tucks it down, and picks up some yardage. It looks like we have another flag, and these are starting to mount up as this game has rolled along, and Winona not affording to be able to give a good football team yardage is continuing to do so.
It has been a penalty-plagued first half for Winona coach Nicholas Howard. So this brings it out to the 28-yard line, first down for the Spartans. Young and company taking their time. Young takes a snap and takes off. Good seal block on the corner by his wide receiver, and he's down the far sideline in a foot race. He'll run into Jacoby Houston, but not before Alex Young picks up a huge gain on the ground.
Actually, I believe this is a direct snap to Lacey. Looks like Young was back there at the beginning, but then it ended up shifting and getting Lacey actually back there, and he's able to take off there. And one of the situations for this Pleasant Grove football team is they have so many talented guys that they can switch up the formations and still come up with huge plays.
Yeah, it was Lacey, and again, his average is going to skyrocket tonight as he picks up another huge gain on first down, another first down, and puts the ball at the Winona 35-yard line as Pleasant Grove looking to put more points on the board here as we go under 4 minutes to play in the half. Young goes for the home run, got a receiver wide open, it's a touchdown. Kyron Burrows was wide open, a busted coverage in the Winona secondary.
Saw Burrows on a great special teams play early on, a nice punt return, and that time wide open on the route. And this play was, number one, well designed, and two, well executed. When you have such a dynamic threat like Lacey, it just challenges you as a defense to be able to play him. Do you put an extra guy in the box? Do you respect Young's arm and drop back? And that time just not enough people in the secondary and not in position to make any kind of play on the football.
So they'll try the extra point now, and the kick is no good. So the score will remain 30-0. Pleasant Grove, as they get the long run out of the Wildcat from Lacey, and then they get this play for the touchdown as Young finds Burrows wide open over the middle.
And this was really set up by that long run, because then you're able to run that play fake to Lacey. And we're seeing a really talented football player in this Alex Young being able to use his arm. Obviously, we've seen his legs as well. A long running play earlier in this football game. They have a really strong offensive line. They do a good job of blocking. I think the only thing that this team, as they move forward, will have to really square away is this kicking game, being able to find some consistency with these extra points. I mean, in most situations, looks like they'll be able to win this game comfortably. In most situations, these 1 point differences, end up adding up as the season goes along, and see if they're able to continue to clear that up. Obviously, lots of time to go between now and the playoffs. But super athletic team, and they're able to take full advantage both in the run game and the pass game.
While we're at it, let's give it up for those Winona cheerleaders.
And the kickoff. Taken by an up man at the 30-yard line. That is Jacoby Houston. Good heads-up play there by Houston will give his offense some pretty good field position out at the 44-yard line as Winona takes over 1st and 10 with 3:35 to play here in the first half.
And once again, now for Winona, it's a situation where you're saying just forget the clock. Let's get to a place where we're at putting together some consistency on offense and putting together a drive that can end in a situation where they can get points, field goal or touchdown. The consistency has not been there. We've seen it in pockets. Guys like Wells, guys like Corwin Williams, who we haven't seen a lot from since that first quarter. Isaiah Spears has contributed on offense, so has Ramik Golston. But overall, just nothing doing, and thanks in large part to that defensive front seven for Pleasant Grove.
Here comes the blitz once again. Running play to Jaquan Bailey, and again, just not much at all. 2 or 3 yards maybe for Bailey.
Good pursuit there by the Spartans defensively, and they're able to corral them in the backfield. And even when they do bring blitz or they don't bring blitz, or even when they go a delayed blitz, it looks like they're able to both stop the run and the pass. It's got to be a demoralizing thing for opponents out there trying to scheme against this Pleasant Grove defense.
2nd down and 8 from the 46. Wells. Once again, it's a handoff to Bailey, and Bailey gets just across the midfield stripe, and that'll make it a 3rd down and 4 coming up for Winona.
Very big play here for the Dragons to try to keep not only this drive going, but keep their chances at scoring before the half open here.
Dragon 3rd down. 4 yards to go.
Here comes the blitz again, and they get to the running back behind a line of scrimmage. Delivering the first hit was Carlos Colston Jr., the sophomore defensive lineman. Or correction, that was number 64, and that is Jaden Hunter.
Good shot there of Hunter. And this defensive front, the nose tackles and the defensive ends have just done a phenomenal job. And it's been a rotating group. It hasn't been 1 or 2 guys. It's been a rotating group there. They're taking a look at that very strong and very talented and quick defense by the Pleasant Grove Spartans, and they have lived up to the billing so far this year. Talked about the interesting year that Winona's had, being able to play literally 1 game. They've had to forfeit the other 2 because of quarantining for COVID-19. Well, this is the 3rd of 3 straight road games for Pleasant Grove to start the season, so they haven't played in front of their home fans. This is Winona's first game at home. They'll host, they being Pleasant Grove, will host Carver Birmingham. Their first home game will be in the middle of September, and it looks like they'll be back at home with, on the field, 3 really dominating wins. Of course, the official scorebook will say a 2-1 record, but and obviously really, really supportive fan base. I'm sure we'll be glad to see the Spartans back at home next week.
And Spears gets the punt away. It hits at the 28. Picked up and returned by Kyron Burrows. So Pleasant Grove will get the ball back on offense. And hey, with the way they can move the ball down the field in a hurry, 2:02 is plenty of time.
And from what we've seen from this offense, 2:02 could be a touchdown, 3 and out, and another touchdown. For this football team, there's Coach LeBeau. calling out the instructions, and we've seen DeMarcus Lacey just be a huge weapon with this offense so far today.
Young throws over the middle, pass is caught in stride to Darius T.D. Parker. And they call him T.D. Parker for a good reason. He gets the touchdown here. And we talked about the quick strike capability, and there you see it.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long off the clock as well. Down to 148. Started that play at 2:02. Parker with his second touchdown of the year. Came into this game with 5 catches, 118 yards, 23.6 yards per catch, and a long of 66 now as his second touchdown of the season. And when you start to take a look at just overall what this offense is able to do from just a quick strike situation, this is a team that is very, very talented, and kind of a little bit like what we saw with Ohio State 1 week ago today. Just no matter where they are in the game, they can bang, bang, bang and come back and hit you with some big plays. And Mickey, finally we have our first point after touchdown.
Finally squeak one through. Again, that's been the only flaw in their game tonight, has been the point after plays. And there you see another look at Mr. T.D. Parker breaking tackles after the catch, going the distance for the touchdown.
And once again, this was designed to really bring that defense up with the play fake to Lacey. And for the second time in a row, Young just goes across the middle to the deep part of the field, finds a wide open guy. His last pass to Kyron Burrows, and this one Parker does most of the work.
Total domination here in this first half. As dominating a game as I have seen in a long time. Here's the kick, fielded for Winona. And Spears takes a shot from Hawkins. And a little extracurricular activities here. It's maybe a little frustration starting to come into play here for Winona.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want to see this, especially before the half. And officials doing their best to try to measure those down, but I don't think that you're wrong in the assessment of the frustration there. I don't think that was one individual play or anything that happened on that individual kickoff, as much as it is just the overwhelming, demoralizing score. And this is where the coaching staff will have to corral their guys in. And obviously you want to be able to live on that competitive edge, but do so within the rules. And it looks like we'll be able to walk away from that little skirmish without a flag. Maybe just some warnings between these two squads. I don't see any laundry out there. Obviously, referees letting the coaches do the coaching over there.
.137 to play in this first half. 1st and 10 for the Dragons at the 33. Blitz again. Wells just can't get anywhere as Pleasant Grove blitzing on every down, no matter what the situation. Wells is dropped behind the line of scrimmage, a loss on first down.
Seemingly it goes from what seems like 3 or 4 guys in the line of scrimmage to about 7 guys in the backfield within a blink of an eye. That's how attacking this Pleasant Grove defense has been throughout the first half. And as you said, it hasn't been one guy. It hasn't been even just a couple of guys. It's been a multitude of players on both levels, on both the defensive front and the linebackers.
2nd down and 12. Halftime can't come soon enough for Winona. Wells dropping back to throw. Passes away and incomplete. It was intended for Corin Williams. That'll stop the clock with 49.9.
Important third down here for Winona. And we'll see if they don't get it or if they go to the air and it's an incomplete pass. We kind of said it tongue-in-cheek a little bit earlier about 202 being enough time to score twice, but it will be a situation where Pleasant Grove will likely have the opportunity to do so if they do not get the first down here.
Wills leaves it on the ground. Huge gaping hole right up the middle. And a nice run that time by Spears. The only problem is they needed so many yards for the first down. He's going to be about 5 yards short.
Exactly right. It's a good-looking play there by Spears, and we've seen him make a few of these over the course of the game. This is a well-blocked play. A lot of times on third and long, you don't see the run, and that time catching that defense off guard.
And first down. Actually, they did get it, and here is Spears again. Not much on first down, maybe a yard of forward progress, and that could be the final play of the first half unless Winona elects to use one of their 3 timeouts. And it doesn't appear as though they will. They will close ranks and head to the locker room and try to come back with some kind of adjustments to counter this Pleasant Grove onslaught here in this first half. Total domination, both sides of the line of scrimmage here for the Spartans of Pleasant Grove, as they will head into halftime with a 37-0 lead. Coming up at halftime, got an interview with TR Miller head coach Brent Hubbard on the way, and more as we continue with our AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by Alabama Professional Services.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
At Team One Toyota, you'll always find the car you want at a price you'll love. And shopping with Team One Toyota is like no other experience. Right now, you can custom order your brand new Toyota. You can pick the color you want, the trim you want, the interior you want, all the equipment and technology you'll want. And this month, when you come into the dealership to custom order your Toyota with us, we'll take an additional $500 off. A lot is changing in the car business because we're the ones changing it. Choose Team One Toyota, where we're driven by great people and great prices.
Welcome to the award-winning Chocolaca Park in Oxford, Alabama. We believe Chocolaca Park is the place to be, and our fans agree. describing the park as breathtaking, professional, and fun for all. With plenty of parking, restrooms, concessions, and a top-notch staff, we are confident your experience will be second to none. Join us today at Chocolaca Park.
And we're back on the AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by Alabama Professional Services. Second-ranked Pleasant Grove flexing their muscle big time here at halftime with a 37-0 lead over Winona in this Class 5A Region 5 matchup from Bell Culpeper Stadium. Speaking of Alabama Professional Services, it's time for our special halftime segment, Ask Roger.
Hello, Birmingham. I'm Ashley Daniels with today's Ask Roger segment. Of course, joining me today is Roger.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Well, we've had a ton of rain this summer. I think we all know that. And that can really do a lot of damage to your foundation. What can people look for, or are there signs that you do have damage?
Well, what you can do is look around the outside of your home during, especially when it's really rainy. Rain will wash the foundation mud away and all like that. So look for cracks in your foundation. Look for water coming into your basement and stuff like that. That means we have a foundation problem. This way you can come out, look at it. We can give you an easy fix for it because it's easier to fix it at the beginning than toward the end. Then it gets very expensive to get it fixed.
What can happen if you don't get it fixed?
You can have a house slide off of a mountain and stuff like that, and sometimes it can get up in the $60,000 and $70,000 to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
At the very beginning, it might be $2,000 or $3,000, but toward the end, it can get very expensive.
It just gets worse.
Correct.
Okay.
But on the other hand, a lot of people don't understand that when it starts drying up, we have issues also with foundations. They also need to look for cracks and all like that. They can go upstairs, look for cracks around doors and everything like that. This way they'll know if something's going on, because during dry seasons, the ground dries up, shrinks, and the foundation is going to follow the ground.
I do remember a few years ago when we had a drought.
Correct.
And, you know, it had been raining a lot before, and then we had this drought, and so that can really do damage on a house.
A lot of damage. And usually on a drought, you don't see the problem for about 2 years.
All right. If you have any questions, you can email Roger at askroger@alabamaprofessional.com.
Ask Roger is brought to you by Alabama Professional Services.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Hi, I'm Courtney. Welcome to Team 1 Hyundai. If you want the absolute most and best out of your dollars, you have to choose Hyundai. Over the years, Hyundai has grown leaps and bounds from general transportation to the luxury, family, sporty brand that you want and need. If you didn't already know, Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, Hyundai Assurance, 3 full years of complimentary maintenance, and 24-hour roadside assistance.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
And halftime rolls on here at Bell Culpeper Stadium. It is all Pleasant Grove here at intermission. 37-0 Class 5A Region 5 matchup on this Thursday night AHSAA Game of the Week presented by Alabama Professional Services. Right now, special interview with T.R. Miller head coach Brent Hubbard. Here he is with John Holder.
The AHSAA Weekly presented by America's First Federal Credit Union continues. We're going to take you to the South Alabama town of Bruton. We're going to speak with the head coach of the T.R. Miller High School Tigers, Coach Brent Hubbard. Coach, congratulations first and foremost on the win over Cottage Hill Christian. It was a big win in Class 3A Region 1, getting region play off to a big start, winning the game 36-6. But that was a little bit overshadowed because T.R. Miller High School and your football team, they accomplished something that has never been done in the history of the state of Alabama, and that's saying something with the football history we have in this state. T.R. Miller becomes the first program to win 700 games in school history, dating back over 96 years. Coach, just tell us about the win and tell us about the night and the accomplishment.
It was great. I'm just blessed and honored to be a small part of the history of T.R. Miller right now. Being here for the third year, but it was awesome. We had the past players come in, hoping we didn't want to screw it up, not win, but we did have a little gathering, a little tailgating. Coach Riggs came in, and I'd reached out to him to deliver the pregame speech, and as in there, we probably have former players back over the last 35, 40 years up to the present time, mixed in with our players, listening to him deliver, myself deliver, and then going out and playing the football game. So, it was something that the kids kind of knew coming into the season, and, we're fortunate to get it to happen right here at a home game in Bruton, Alabama.
Well, you're no stranger to small town great football. You and your dad combined for literally hundreds of wins yourselves at Maplesville High School in Chilton County. A lot of similarities. Of course, Bruton's a little bit bigger than Maplesville, but a lot of similarities between the two towns. Talk about the similarities between Maplesville and Bruton.
Well, everything revolves around the school. We could have a choir at the school, a choir concert at the school. This parking lot's going to be packed. You announce anything happening at the school, it's packed. It revolves around it. The community is a hard-working, blue-collar type. They both are like that. Holtwood at one time, or still is, leading the industry in both of them. Just hard-nosed kids and great work ethic, and those type of people are easy to work with, and proud communities, both of them. And they really support their school and any of the extracurricular activities.
Coach Hubbard, even though I live 300 miles away and have lived for most of my life in North Alabama, I have long been an admirer of T.R. Miller High School in the town of Bruton. What was it that attracted you to come to T.R. Miller?
Well, I grew up a coach's son, and like you, the history of high school football is big in my family, just because that's what we did for a living. And there was opportunity. I was to leave at Maplesville, been there 15 years. It was one of those things, if I'm ever going to leave, if I'm going to go to another place, this opportunity is here, and let's take a chance. It's very similar. Just a small step up, a couple of classifications. And I got excited. I was kind of like, I think Maplesville needs a little bit of a change. I need a little bit of a spark, and so far it's kind of worked out.
Coach, I understand you invited back everybody who had ever played football at T.R. Miller to come back for this game. You mentioned Jamie Riggs, longtime legendary Hall of Fame coach, spoke to the team before the game. Just your impressions of the tradition of T.R. Miller from talking with all these guys from literally decades of T.R. Miller football.
Well, I've met a lot of them outside of last Friday, but just having the opportunity to shake their hand and walk around in that dressing room, it was really, I'd never experienced anything like it. I'm already saying, hey, we need to do it once a year. For those guys to come back in, see the dressing room, be around the kids were in awe. Our coaching staff was just amazed. It was really a special moment, and I'll try to do it again.
Coach, we want to say congratulations to you, one, on the win. Best wishes for you and your football team the rest of the season. We're just getting cranked up now with region play. And we also, first and foremost, want to say a heartfelt congratulations from everybody at the AHSAA, and I think football fans all across the state of Alabama, for the outstanding accomplishment of 700 wins at T.R. Miller High School in Bruton. Congratulations to you, your staff, your football team, and all the folks there in Bruton, Alabama.
We appreciate it from our staff, the community, the football team, and administrators and everybody. We certainly appreciate it.
Brent Hubbard is the head coach of the T.R. Miller Tigers. 700 wins, never been done before in the history of high school football in the state of Alabama. More of the AHSAA Weekly presented by America's First Federal Credit Union in just a moment.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs, not yours. At AmFirst, our app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
Have you seen foam lift concrete? Watch it raise the sidewalk. The poly-level system raises building floors, levels driveways, raises steps. Amazing, isn't it? APS Foundation.
It's back to school time, and Sarah is paying your sales tax on new and pre-owned vehicles. Upgrade to a nicer, newer Ford, Honda, or Nissan, and the Sarah dealerships of Sylacauga will pay your sales tax. That is a huge savings. We're paying your sales tax on new or select pre-owned vehicles on our lot. You heard right. We pay your sales tax. Interest rates are at historic lows. There's never been a better time to get more for your money. Plus, we've never paid more for your trade-in. Get a cash offer, even if you don't buy from us. We'll pay you $1,000 more than any other written offer. Other dealers may be low on inventory, but at Sarah Dealership, we're stepping on the gas and loading up our lot. Come in today and get more Ford, Honda, and Nissan for your money at the Sarah Dealership of Sylacauga on Highway 280, and we'll pay your sales tax. Must finance at least 75% of purchase price with dealer preferred lender at dealer asking price. Not available in all pre-owned vehicles. See dealer for details.
Drive it, love it. Drive it.
And halftime continues from Bell Culpeper Stadium here at Winona High School. Pleasant Grove leading 37-0. Back with highlights and second half action on the AHSAA Game of the Week.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA Weekly Show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
It's back to school time, and Sarah is paying your sales tax on new and pre-owned vehicles. Upgrade to a nicer, newer Ford, Honda, or Nissan, and the Sarah dealerships of Sylacauga will pay your sales tax. That is a huge savings. We're paying your sales tax on new or select pre-owned vehicles on our lot. You heard right. We pay your sales tax. Interest rates are at historic lows. There's never been a better time to get more for your money. Plus, we've never paid more for your trade-in. Get a cash offer, even if you don't buy from us. We'll pay you $1,000 more than any other written offer. Other dealers may be low on inventory, but at Sarah Dealership, we're stepping on the gas and loading up our lot. Come in today and get more Ford, Honda, and Nissan for your money at the Sarah Dealership of Sylacauga on Highway 280, and we'll pay your sales tax. Must finance at least 75% of purchase price with dealer preferred lender at dealer asking price. Not available in all pre-owned vehicles. See dealer for details.
Drive it, love it. Drive it.
Well, it has been the Alex Young and DeMarcus Lacey show here in this first half, Gerhard, as these two players have accounted for all the points, 6 touchdowns between the two of them.
Starting the very first play of the game, very first carry by DeMarcus Lacey, a touchdown run. We saw the speed early on, and then a little bit later, it was Young doing it with his feet as well. A touchdown here. Made it 12-0 in the early going of this one, and now what I think kind of broke the game open was a big defensive score, a score touchdown. Another big play here by DeMarcus Lacey, stops on a dime right there, showing the athleticism, and then being able to get into the end zone once again for his second touchdown. And then they started using Young through the air for a couple more, led by some good special teams plays. A great play here by Kyron Burrows. The wall set up perfectly by the Spartans. That sets up another touchdown a little bit later on. Right there by Young going on the direct snap here, and then a little bit later it was the passing touchdown as Young started to use his arms. Kyron Burrows on the other side of this one, and then T.D. Parker takes it to the house on this play right here. Add that to a defensive touchdown, and it has been a Spartan show, as you said, by Young and Lacey, really spirited, using the rush at first and then using the passing plays a little bit later on, and that's how they blown this thing wide open.
Lacey with 3 rushing touchdowns, Young with 1 rushing touchdown and 2 passing touchdowns. Back with the second half after this timeout.
I'm Roger, your in-house expert with Alabama Professional, and your questions keep pouring in to Ask Roger. Judy in Arndale asked, what services can APS provide? Alabama Professional offers basement waterproofing, foundation repair, humidity and mold control, and encapsulation of nasty crawl spaces. Since 1977, homeowners have entrusted APS to solve basement, foundation, and crawl space problems. Call for a free, no-obligation estimate today and keep those emails and questions coming.
We were looking to sell our starter home and move into our dream home. After looking at all the options, we chose to work with ERA King. ERA means easy, responsive, and attention to detail. ERA King made the entire process of buying and selling a house easy. From helping us decide on a listing price to navigating the final closing, our agent worked with us every step of the way. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
I'm Roger, your in-house expert with Alabama Professional, and your questions keep pouring in to Ask Roger. Stan in Mountain Brook asked, our basement is damp, musty, and humid. Can APS help? Stan, almost half of the air you breathe comes from your basement. A wet or damp basement worsens allergies and damages valuables. We'll transform your basement into a dry, usable space and improve the air quality of your home. Call for a free, no-obligation estimate today and keep those emails and questions coming.
A new automobile is not something you buy every day, month, or year. But when it's time for you to purchase a new vehicle, we want you to think of Team 1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Gadsden. Here, our #1 goal is customer service and satisfaction. We offer some of the best-selling, most award-winning vehicles in the world, like Jeep and Ram trucks. Here at Team 1 CDJR, we want to show you that you are #1. Team 1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 12th and Megan in Gadsden.
And we're back at Bell Culpeper Stadium here on the AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by Alabama Professional Services. 5A Region 5 matchup tonight, all Pleasant Grove here at halftime, 37-0. Gerhard, we've obviously talked a lot about what's happened in the first half. Now looking ahead to the second half, obviously this game is in hand for second-ranked Pleasant Grove, and now you turn your attention to how Coach LeBeau will handle the second half, and also how Coach Howard will handle it for Winona, because you know, when you look at their roster, they only have 25 players on their active roster tonight.
Exactly. You have to play both things. You have to play the depth part of it, and then you have to be able to play the, hey, we got our starters some work, and then be able to rest them, because obviously they'll have some games as they move forward. What you see a lot of times in this situation, you see the starters playing for maybe 1 to 2 series here in the second half, and then going to some backups. That's for Pleasant Grove. Meanwhile, for Winona, it might not have a full throttle of players to go to as a quote-unquote second unit. However, we'll see if they're able to be able to muster something up, leaving that first team offense and that first team defense on the field. So a chance, I would think, for Winona to be able to get some scoring drives going if Pleasant Grove is able to put their second team in. So we'll see how both teams handle it, because this is still very early in the season, especially in the region part of their year.
Well, Winona will receive the kickoff to begin the second half. And a look at Jaquan Bailey standing back deep, awaiting the kick. And Hawkins with the approach, and now we're underway. And this will be fielded at the 22-yard line by Anthony Young, and he returns it out to the 35, where he is stopped there by Pleasant Grove's Sherode Pickett.
Good chance to see the Winona offense here, and we saw some good things in spurts in that first half. Quarterback Rico Wells, saw him with a couple of nice runs there in that first half. We also saw Ramik Golston, as well as Corn Williams. Corn Williams had some good plays in that first quarter. Haven't seen much of him since then. Wide receiver for the Dragons. So they have some talent, they have some ability. Now can they sustain drives? That'll be the question.
And a flag before the snap. And penalties have been a big problem for Winona tonight. And Gerhard, we noticed right away the clock is moving despite the stoppage in play for the penalty.
That's right. This is a discussion between coaches. We saw this last week in our game of the week with Mountain Brook, and it looks like the same situation here. We'll have a running clock on everything but timeouts.
Wells, nicely executed play. Kentrell Simmerton, who had the interception in the first half, makes the catch. And a nice gain.
Outside of that one huge play there, a big run by Wells, you can make an argument that Simmerton had the biggest play of the night for the Dragons, being able to pick that football off, stop a touchdown for the Spartans, and a nice little play there to set up a second and manageable.
2nd and 6, handoff up the middle. Nice hard running that time by Winona's Ramik Golston. He was met in the hole by Cavante Harrell, but Golston, physical run here.
100%, 5'9", 185-pound junior, and that's a very tough physical run. And when you're seeing that out of the gate, especially in the third quarter, down 37-0, that's when you know it's hard, and he's got it right now.
Wells on the keep, nowhere to go as he was met. Once again, another tackle from behind the line of scrimmage. Amir Brown this time making the stop.
That's what we saw a lot of in that first half, just nowhere to run with the football. Looks like that play was really shut down from the very beginning. Wasn't sure if there was a little bit of miscommunication there. Wells just doing a good job of not putting that thing on the ground and picking up what he can, but once again, here they are on a second down, and they're behind the chains.
Rico Wells has been under pressure all night tonight. Really has done a nice job of minimizing mistakes. Here he is under pressure once again, steps up in the pocket and staying on his feet and gets rid of the ball at the last minute, takes a shot on the boundary. And again, that has been the story of the night, is Rico Wells feeling the heat from this Spartan defense.
Poised. He's been so poised, though. Obviously, the stat line won't be anything that will be framed. However, he's been poised in this entire game, and even on that play, and we'll see if they end up calling this. I'm not sure if the ball got back to the line of scrimmage, but I don't see any flags out right now for intentional grounding. So I've just been so impressed with even with him having as much pressure as he had, he's been able to keep the poise throughout this entire game, even though he's been behind the sticks on a lot of these downs.
He's got to feel like it's been him against 11 guys just about every play. And here comes the blitz again. Wells steps back, keeps his eyes downfield and throws it up, and almost was able to connect with Jaquan Bailey. And it's hard to really, criticize this young man for being a little off on a throw when you look at the pressure he is under, and he still able to maintain his eyes downfield and almost completed a long pass.
Exactly, right there, all in his face the entire time, and the entire play. 3 defenders there by Pleasant Grove, but just gives his team a chance, gives his team a shot by getting that ball out of his hands. Although it's incomplete, that last drive kind of shows you the heart of not only Wells, but just the ability to keep the plays going. And they got a nice run there early on in that drive, and just once again some small things that you can be proud of, but not necessarily anything that actually leads to any points.
We'll take a break, return to Bell Culpeper Stadium in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Courtney. Welcome to Team 1 Hyundai. If you want the absolute most and best out of your dollars, you have to choose Hyundai. Over the years, Hyundai has grown leaps and bounds from general transportation to the luxury, family, sporty brand that you want and need. If you didn't already know, Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, Hyundai Assurance, 3 full years of complimentary maintenance, and 24-hour roadside assistance.
And we're back at Bell Culpeper Stadium at Winona. 37-0 Pleasant Grove. They get the ball back for the first time here in the second half. We may see, yes, we do see quarterback Alex Young and also DeMarcus Lacey come out for, I don't expect to see them play too much here in the second half.
I don't either. I think this is just to make sure that they continue to get some fresh legs and be able to play a little bit more. Obviously, coaches don't want to see anybody get hurt in this situation, but you still have to try to train your guys to play a lot longer than a half, and so I'd expect to see them for not much longer than this drive.
Young with a handoff. It's Lacey, and Lacey darts forward for a gain of 12 out near midfield for another first down, and that, believe it or not, may be his shortest rush of the night.
Exactly, and it's another Amherst first down in the process. He came into this game averaging about 14 yards per carry and exploded for a few huge runs early in this one, and he'll come off the sideline here. Very well-deserved breather for DeMarcus Lacey, who we talked about earlier is one of the top prospects in the state of Alabama. He already holds a few offers. Teams like Troy and Eastern Kentucky and a few others.
And we're gonna say, did Young's knee touch the ground on the handoff?
It's either that or the receiver's trying to get off the football and wasn't set on the outside. Yeah, it looks like though, either way it's coming back, whether it's coming back 5 yards for the infraction or he's coming back a little bit more because of that going down.
They definitely called the knee down, and a heat timeout. 5:48 now to play here in the third. We're going to take the break as well. We'll be back to Bell Culpeper Stadium.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs, not yours. At AmFirst, our app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
And the AHSAA game of the week is presented by Alabama Professional Services. You know them for their outstanding work in foundation repair, waterproofing, and concrete repair around your home, but they also do a great job with pest control, termites, mosquitoes, gutter shutter system, and lawn care. Alabama Professional Services. All of your home improvement needs. Call APS. Second down, 15. Young over the middle, pass is caught by Cam Harris, and Harris is all the way down inside the 30-yard line of Winona.
Harris coming into this game had 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. He's had 2 impressive catches in this game. He had one earlier, he just hanging on to it, that time going across the middle, picking up some yards after contact. And when guys like these are your second and third options in the passing game, you're in pretty good position as a total offensive unit.
First and 10. Handoff right up the middle to Burrows. Burrows inside the 10, spins his way inside the 5. A flag flies at the end of the play. So we will see if it stands.
See the official coming in right there towards the end and signaling to the head referee that it's going to be a hold here. So that Burrows run largely for naught there on that play. That's one of the things that has killed some momentum for Pleasant Grove over the course of this game. Something to keep an eye out on as the Spartans make a look at another run for a state championship. Just can't beat yourself in these kind of situations.
First down.
Starting offense looking to go down and score possibly one more time before being done for the night. Pass is complete to Harris. Good yardage after the catch along the far sideline. Harris is one of those type receivers where I think the term catch ready has kind of evolved from.
Exactly, and you're going to see a good block here by Kerry Bester, number 19 on the outside. This is a well-designed play. And just uses that big body to pick up extra yardage. Talk about guys like Bester and Parker and Cameron Harris. This is a dynamic passing game.
Young on the keep, trying to get around the corner and able to maybe pick up a yard. Nice pursuit on the wide side of the field that time by the Dragon defense.
We've seen a lot of what you just saw from Pleasant Grove's defense, not being able to get to the outside, really doing a good job of sealing that off as soon as the quarterback makes the decision to run the football. Good job there by the Dragon defense, doing the exact same thing. And this offense, once again, looking for answers, and it looks like we'll have a new quarterback into the house here for the Spartans.
Tyson Allen, the junior, 5'10", 215-pounder in their quarterback. Hands it off up the middle, huge hole, and a touchdown run for Markel Jordan. The only player not named Lacey or Young to get into the end zone tonight.
And I think as soon as Lacey and Young exit the ball game, you see a couple of some other players being able to get some action in, starting with the new quarterback and Allen, and once again another well-blocked play here by that front of Pleasant Grove, and he wasn't even touched until that second level. And once again, another touchdown on the board for the Spartans.
And Hawkins has the extra point blocked. So the score will remain 43-0 after the touchdown run by Markel Jordan.
You see Allen Good look at him so far in the year. He's 3 of 3. Can't do anything better from the air. 35 yards. And this time, basically with the assists, handing it off, and the offensive line doing a good job. And we're just seeing weapon after weapon after weapon for these Pleasant Grove Spartans. Look to be well on their way to get another dominating performance on the field. Once again, if you haven't been familiar with their story on the field, they're 3-0 with wins over the Oxford Yellow Jackets 61-24, a win last week over Cordova 46-18, and then what looks to be like another win here. However, due to an ineligible player situation, they had to forfeit that game against Oxford, so they're officially 1-1.
And that ironically gave new Oxford coach Sam Adams his first victory as head coach at Oxford by way of forfeit. And this return by Rico Wells. He'll stay out there, assume his quarterbacking duties here as the clock continues to move. Under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
The only other player listed as a quarterback for Winona is number 2, Anthony Young, a sophomore. So it looks like we'll see a good bit of Rico Wells here playing for the Spartans in this one. And honestly, we just saw just a impeccable performance in that last drive, just the individual performance. So obviously they didn't go for many yards, but you just saw the poise under pressure by Wells, and we'll see if they can get anything going through the air on this drive.
Wells with a handoff up the middle to Spears. Nice spin move out across the 50 down to the Pleasant Grove 45-yard line.
Number 6, Isaiah Spears dashes forward for a Dragon first down.
Gain of about 14 yards for senior Isaiah Spears. Winona looking to get off one more play before the end of the quarter. We're gonna have a whistle, and
I think we're gonna have probably a substitution infraction here on Pleasant Grove at the
several of those tonight.
Yeah, the last minute they're trying to substitute a guy out of the secondary, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't the near side of the field. It was on the very, very far side of the field, and the officials were gonna catch that one every time. So looks like one more snap here for the Dragons. Maybe not even that.
They wind it here, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. So a fast-moving third quarter with the running clock, and we will head to the fourth and final quarter. All Pleasant Grove tonight as the Spartans lead the Dragons 43-0 on the AHSAA Game of the Week, presented by Alabama Professional Services.
The perfect checking account doesn't exist. Not at a bank, that is. So why do you keep looking there? At AmFirst, you can get no minimum balance or monthly fees, an instant issue debit card, and free checks with unlimited check writing. But who doesn't want more? Like a rewards program you'll actually use, and convenient digital tools that make it easy to manage your account from anywhere. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
I need the king, boys.
Don't call two clowns in a tow truck when you're dreaming of them king boys.
Right now at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor, the keyword is free. Buy any type of flooring at Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor and we'll install it absolutely free. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, or vinyl, get it professionally installed absolutely free. Why pay to have your new floor installed when you can have it installed absolutely free and get 0% financing for an entire year? That's right, free interest for an entire year and free installation. That's Ted's Abbey Carpet and Floor's free installation sale going on right now.
Set for fourth quarter action from Bell Culpeper Stadium. Mickey Shadricks and Gerhard Mathangani with you on the AHSAA Game of the Week. Class A Region 5, Pleasant Grove, the second-ranked team in Class 5A, looking like it tonight as they're in command here as we begin the final quarter. This pass incomplete as Wells was trying to connect with Donarelia Scott.
So the arm there by Wells, like the play call coming out of the quarter change there for Winona, showcasing his talent and a good job blocking up front by Winona. There you see the leadership there of Wells, the senior quarterback.
Second down and 5 from the Spartan 40-yard line. Back to the ground game. Up the middle goes the running back for Winona. That'll set up a third down and short.
Seeing some new bodies and fresh faces in for Pleasant Grove, and this one, Trevor Brewster is in there, as well as offensive lineman Noah Gilliland, defensive lineman I should say, Noah Gilliland, and a few others rotating in and out here, getting some action in this one.
Likely 4-down territory regardless of what happens. Third down and 2. Wells looking to throw. Pressure once again, and he is going to be sacked back at his own 48-yard line.
Huge play there. There you see the young fella, sophomore Isaiah Horton-Jones, coming from his defensive line position. Joined there in the backfield by another sophomore, Carlos Colston Jr. And this has been a surge by this defensive line for the Spartans. You can see that Wells doesn't go down easily, but that time 2 Spartans there to make the tackle, and what was probably 4-down territory turned well into a situation where they couldn't afford to not punt it, and they get the punt off.
Outstanding coverage there by Kevin Peoples Jr., the sophomore defensive back. So it'll be Pleasant Grove on offense. Fully expect to see, and there you see the backup quarterback staying in the game. Alex Young, his night is done at quarterback. And this is your backup, Tyson Allen. Marcus Lacey's out of the game as well. And handoff here to Brian Hardwick, and he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play there by Winona's Kentrell Simmerton, who's had a good game tonight.
One of the bright spots there for the Dragons this year in this game so far. I mentioned earlier that Pleasant Grove coming up next. They'll have their first home game of the season against Carver Birmingham in another region matchup, and then Wenonah will go back to the road. They'll take on Parker next week.
Procedure penalty against the Pleasant Grove offense will cost them 5. Allen hands off up the middle. Is Hardwick again, not much. Out near about the 18-yard line. goes the senior backup running back.
At this point, you see Pleasant Grove's strategy right now is continue to run the ball, run their offense, and get some young guys some work in their regular playbook. And for the most part, taking the passes out. Not sure about here this third down call, but for the most part, looking to run the ball and get some of their younger guys some looks offensively.
Allen just gets rid of it as he was under pressure from the Winona defense. And that'll, even though the pass is incomplete, once again, the clock continues to move here in the second half, and that'll bring up a punting situation for the Spartans.
Which is the reason why I like the running clock situation, is because you could truly run your offense without having to stop on incomplete passes and anything outside of penalties and or called timeouts by the officials. You still get your young guys some looks offensively, and let's go have another substitution infraction.
Allen will punt this one from about his 10-yard line. High snap. He gets it out of there somehow. What a play by Allen. And he gets a good roll across the 50. All the way down to around the 41-yard line. What a job there by Allen to get the ball out of there. We'll take a timeout. 5:38 here left in the fourth quarter. Pleasant Grove seeming to have all the answers in this one tonight, leading Winona 43-0.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
And we'd like to thank King Boys Towing. They pride themselves on being the towing service for the people. Did you know King Boys Towing provides school-age kids with shoes at the beginning of each school year? This year they gave away over 300 brand new pair of shoes. We resume play. Winona with the football. Isaiah Spears, nifty footwork. He picks up right at about 9 yards to midfield.
Going back to that punt earlier, and just a phenomenal heads-up play there by Tyson Allen, being able to get the ball out of there. That was an opportunity for Winona to score. The very first thing that rolled through my head is the happiest people that play happened is usually the defense. The defensive unit loves to see and brag about those zeros on the scoreboard. He gave the shot where they can still do so, even though Winona's offense looks to have found a little bit of a groove here in the running game.
Wells' pass is caught. Receiver immediately taken down hard on the play by Joshua Ashurst.
Nice pass play there by Winona. They haven't had a lot down the field, but that one's really clean.
Amherst first down for Winona. Here is Isaiah Spears again, turning the corner. Lowers his head and gets it down to about the 40-yard line.
Good job sealing it off there by the Pleasant Grove defense, but looks like he'll get enough. Good pursuit here. And some of these younger Spartans Tough running there by Spears, and makes it once again a second and manageable situation.
Under 4 to play, 2nd down and 6. Wells looks downfield, then takes off. And will step out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
Best drive so far of the game here by Winona. Looks like able to put together some plays in the passing game as well as some nice rushes as well. They're able to pick up yet another first down on this drive, another first down. This is a really busy region this week. We talked about the 2 games upcoming for these 2 squads. Also, Parker will travel over to Ramsey. We'll have Cordova at John Carroll and Fairfield at Carver Birmingham all tomorrow.
Golston breaking a tackle. Inside the 20, inside the 10, knocked off his feet at around the 9-yard line by Sherrod Pickett. But Winona here, under 3 minutes to play, still with an opportunity to get that goose egg off the scoreboard, and you know they would love to do that.
And they're playing hard here in this game. They got a touchdown in their last game against Ramsey, and it's just good, tough running here by the Dragons so far here in this 4th quarter. A great play there by Golston.
Golston again, this time nowhere to run, as he is thrown down to the turf by Camden Robinson, the 9th grade defensive lineman. Clock ticks under 2 minutes to play. The only drama left in this one is will Winona get into the end zone or not, Gerhard?
And I think that obviously they definitely want to, this being just their 2nd game so far of the season, and still have their basically the starting unit from their on their line still out there, and obviously the starting quarterback still out there as well. And it looks like Pleasant Grove here will call the timeout.
Timeout with 1:43 to play.
This defense has not been used to a well put together drive by Winona. It looks like Pleasant Grove will want to talk this one over a little bit. And of course, it's some of the younger guys in the game for Pleasant Grove, and still a lot of the starters for Winona. And we see this from time to time in the world of football, and trying to make sure that your 2nd unit plays as well as your 1st, even though they're younger, inexperienced, and have played less actually in this ball game. This is a good spot here for Winona to leave out of here with their 1st home game and a good taste in their mouth as they move forward. Obviously, no enthusiasm lost from the Winona band right there.
Wells drops back, steps up, finds an open receiver, and Corin Williams finds the end zone, and Winona breaks through and scores their 1st points of the night.
It almost seems fitting in the way that they did it as well, because Wells once again was under pressure. Felt like he went to his 2nd option, wasn't there, 3rd option wasn't there, and then finally dumps it off to Williams. And Williams had a really strong 1st quarter. Didn't see a lot of him much throughout the game. It comes up big when they're needed him the most to be able to get on the scoreboard, and they do so.
And the extra point attempt is good. So that makes it 43-7 as Wells and Williams gives Winona something to feel good about here late in this football game.
Once again, another great play by Wells, just keeping his eyes down the field and giving his team, giving his guys a chance. And kind of talked about and bragged about that senior's play so far in this one. And he goes to another senior in Corn Williams, who scores the first touchdown here for these Winona Dragons.
Thank you all for coming out tonight, supporting your Winona Dragons.
And we won't even have any other action as the clock is going to wind down and expire. And that'll be our final score. Pleasant Grove looking every bit a state championship contender. They've made back-to-back appearances in the 5A state championship game, 2 heartbreaking losses. St. Paul's and Central of Clay. What we've seen so far this year, they are going to be a factor as we progress down the line here this season. Meanwhile, Winona in a rebuilding mode this year, and they do get the touchdown late in the game, making our final score 43-7. So Pleasant Grove improves to 2-1 on the season. Winona falls to 0-4. Gerhard, again, your final thoughts on what was just a dominating effort here tonight from the Spartans.
5A football better be on the lookout for DeMarcus Lacey as well as Alex Young. They were phenomenal today. That defense was really, really strong as well. This is a formidable unit, and they have championship aspirations. They've been there twice, as we said earlier. Meanwhile, for Winona, this is a chance to grow a little bit under their first year and under head coach Howard, and it looks like they've come out. They've been able to put together a strong mentality for their football team. Once they get the numbers up in Pleasant Grove, and these things kind of come in cycles every now and again. When there's enthusiasm about your program, the numbers are usually going to be there. That's probably the reason why Pleasant Grove has got a little over 80 members of the football team competing for state championships and whatnot. So a tale of 2 different teams in 2 different places right now in 2021, but looks like their futures are really bright. And once again, 5A football, Pleasant Grove will have a hand to say in it as we move forward here.
And they are now 2-0 in Region 5 play with back-to-back wins over Cordova and tonight over Winona. As Gerhard said, next up for Pleasant Grove, they host Carver Birmingham. Meanwhile, Winona will travel to take on Parker, both region games for both teams next week. For Gerhard Mathangani and our entire WOTM crew, thanks to you for watching the AHSAA Game of the Week tonight, presented by Alabama Professional Services. So long from Winona High School.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs, not yours. At AmFirst, our app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
Uncle Marcus, will you tell us the story about King Boys again?
Sure. Well, it all started back in 2008.
2008?
We didn't have all the fancy towing equipment we do now, but we did have a service and a desire to help our customers. You see, kids, you must train your mind and your body to be able to help the people you call customers. When they call on us, it's showtime. Understand me. King Boys' mission is to help when people are in need. So what's our motto, children?
King Boys forever!